Welcome to EduPlanet 21's 10-Minute Tuesdays, weekly conversations with experts in education. My name is Claire Coop-Scott, and I'm with the content team at EduPlanet 21. I'm excited to be speaking with the instructional leader from Sycamore School in Indiana about how they transitioned to using the Understanding by Design curriculum framework, as well as their approach to curriculum planning for their student population. I'd like to welcome Glenna Lykens, head of the lower school at Sycamore. Glenna, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, Claire.
So I thought we could start out by you describing and talking about Sycamore School, because it's a unique school and population that you're serving.
Yes, so Sycamore has been around since 1985, and we are a private independent school, and our mission is to meet the needs of academically gifted students. So we started 35 years ago when some parents and teachers in the area felt that there were bits and pieces of what gifted students needed within the schools, but nothing totally focused on their needs. And that's how it started. It started around somebody's kitchen table, and we've grown since then. We're a school for ages 3 years old through 8th grade, and we have about 410 students in our school.
So when you and I were talking and getting prepared for this conversation, one of the things you said was it was a big leap to move from curriculum in binders to using our tool for curriculum design. Can you talk about what that transition was like and how you got from where you were to where you are today?
Yes. So because we're private and independent, we don't have to follow state or national standards, which can be very freeing, but it's also a huge responsibility. And we have this unique population of students that we're trying to make sure that we're doing the right thing by them through the curriculum. So 35 years ago, people were writing their own curriculum, pulling from a lot of resources, and everything truly was stored in binders. And they would have these shelves of binders. And as new teachers would come, they were handed the binders and had to figure out what to do with them. So not a lot of guidance, and then some consistency might be lost from teacher to teacher. So we started talking about what kind of curriculum writing and planning would be best that would pull together everything we already had, focus on the needs of gifted students, and help us move forward and be a little more consistent. And so as we looked at things, UBD just seemed like a perfect fit for what we are already doing and a perfect fit for our population of students. And so we decided to move toward that.
So what was your approach to getting teachers involved with UBD?
We had a lot of discussions, and we spent a whole year doing professional development on UBD. We had trainers come in and work with teachers, looked at videos with Jay McTighe and Grant Wiggins. This one trainer especially came in, I think about 5 times that first year. We gave teachers a lot of release time. And so just through all of that, it was pretty easy to get everybody on board and to see that we needed something like that to be our central way to work with curriculum.
So what were the steps from binders? Did you move right to the platform? Did you use any kind of other documentation in between?
We moved to the platform, but we sort of did it in stages, which I don't know if that was the best way or not. But we started that first year focusing on stage 1 and having all teachers think about, with each unit you're doing, what are those main understandings? What are the knowledge and skills you want kids to know about? Pulling in the essential questions, which we hadn't really used before. So that whole first year, we had just Word document templates, and teachers took their units, thought about it, revised it, put it into that stage 1, and then the next year we added stage 2 and stage 3.
So since you talked about your population and you serve gifted and talented students, how do you think your approach to curriculum design might be different than a traditional school district?
So again, because we don't follow the state and national standards, we truly do pull from a lot of different resources. We say we write our own curriculum. That doesn't necessarily mean we are creating a unit from scratch, though some teachers do that too. But what it really means is we're looking and seeing what's out there, An example I'll use is math. We use Math in Focus, which is the American version of Singapore Math, but you won't go in a classroom and see a teacher marching through that page by page. And you might go in a classroom and see that kids are working, some kids in a second grade classroom might be working at a third grade level, a fourth grade level, or a fifth grade level. So you have all these levels to figure out. So teachers truly do pull a lot of resources, especially in math, focused on problem solving, critical thinking, all of that, from all kinds of resources that many are already out there published by people that work with gifted students. Many of the universities too are publishing now materials. So you gather all of those, and how do you take all of those pieces and put it into a cohesive curriculum? And UBD has worked really well to help us do that.
Have you done anything to involve the community or communicate with the community about your change in approach and how you've moved forward?
Yes. So when we first changed over, we did do some sharing with parents, and we actually had a couple parent meetings where we would explain to the parents how that worked. With the kids, where they would see it, we started posting like the essential questions on the wall when we would start a unit, different things like that. We have a parent portal where it's our parent communication piece, and before a teacher starts a unit, they will post all of stage one on there so parents are able to see stage one and know what is going to come out of this unit. Parents especially have really appreciated that piece.
I bet I can say that as a parent. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
So we're here for the students. So with the move to UBD, can you talk about the impact you've seen in teaching and learning?
Yes. I tell you, the impact, I believe, has been strong because, first of all, we've gotten that consistent method for all teachers to think about curriculum and to have them really focus on that stage one. To me, stage one is the crux of everything. And I know the other stages are really important too. But for a teacher to really focus on stage one and think about, what do I want kids to come away from this unit learning? What do I want them to understand? What do I want them to be able to discuss with those essential questions? That is so key and important. And just having teachers focus on that is going to really help students, because they now have this guiding document spread throughout the entire unit. It's really helped with vertical articulation too, because especially now that we have it all in EduPlanet, teachers from one grade level to another can see and make sure that what they're doing follows from the year before and leads into the following year. So that's been really helpful, and I think for students it's been good. And then even like the stage 3, when we do our learning plans in there, it really has teachers focus on that differentiation piece for the needs of the different levels of the students. Mm-hmm. So again, I think students really know that wherever they are within that unit, their needs are going to be met. And I think that's important too.
Mm-hmm. That's terrific. So my last question is, are there any best practices that you have that you'd want to share with other administrators or teachers who are making the move to UBD?
I would say that differentiation piece. It doesn't matter if you're working with a population of students that are academically gifted, or you're in a classroom where you've got kids that are that true highly academically gifted child, all the way down to whatever spread you've got. I think differentiation is truly the key. I'm going to just put in a little plug for this book. This is one that we really used, integrating differentiated instruction and understanding by design. That's kind of like one of the little textbooks every teacher has in their classroom. But to me, differentiation in the world of education has become a little bit of a buzzword. And I think if you focus on what is differentiation and make sure you all have the same idea of that, that's helpful. And for us at Sycamore, it means pretty much getting to know your students, finding out where they are in all those different subject areas, and then think about how can you help them grow to the next level. And really that's it in a nutshell. But when I think of, a lot of people think Differentiation means acceleration. That's only a small piece of it. With our students, that enrichment piece and going deeper is so important too. But I think for all teachers, thinking of that differentiation, how do I meet the needs of all students? And I can't do that till I get to know my students. And that's key and important.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing your experience and your knowledge with us today. It's been great to talk with you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.